Gosh, I get asked this question a little about the different media for performers, and stage, film and television all have their merits. There is definitely value in rehearsal. So when you're doing a theatre production, you do have the opportunity to work on things, and there's quite a specific process to it. However, performing it perhaps more than 20 times would start to drive me absolutely balmy after having the experience of FarScape, which is so fast-moving and quite exciting on set. You really have to keep your wits about you, and a lot of the crew pull their hair out every sort of minute of the day because it's so hard to keep up with what the directors may be asking of us, or what the schedule demands of all of us. So I'm used to that pace now. And FarScape's a weird sort of blend, a weird melange of film and television elements because it's a massive production. We haven't shot anything like it, really, in Australia. And it's obviously shot on the 35mm cameras. So I don't know what it would be like to return to normal television, for want of a better word, but I quite like where I am for the moment.
Cable's fine. Mooring control is totally buggered, but we should be able to cut loose if we have to.
What's your problem? So much has been projected onto the relationship by the fans, and we've constructed it that way. I think it's quite consciously been written as a relationship with a lot of subtext. And it's always been a delight to see the fans' responses to a lot of the scenes we do.
Damn!
Here. Careful. I think there's a definite working chemistry between me and Ben, and that makes a big difference to the relationship between Crichton and Aeryn, because no matter how long you may want to string out a relationship on air between two characters, if the working chemistry between the actors doesn't work, there'll be fewer layers to the relationship on screen. So I think they fight like adolescents. I think they have a difficult relationship based on passion. I think there's a sense of inexorability between them, and they feel very drawn to one another. But whenever they try to resolve issues between them, like adults, they always end up behaving like children.
Aeryn, you do not want me there.
I do want you there.
Why? To throw rice? Forget about it. I've seen my share of hardware insertion. I'm not watching.
It's been modified.
Yeah, I heard that.
Less invasive. It's safer.
Yes, it's new. It's improved. It's the finger of friendship. 1995. But wait, kids, there's more.
What's the matter with you? This is the right thing to do.
For who?
For all of us. He needs my help to control Talon to get us out.
Aeryn, do what you have to do.
I will.
Fine, but do not sugarcoat it for me. Right thing to do, my ass.
And what's that supposed to mean?
It means that you do things the way you want to, when you want to, with who you want to do them.
It's got nothing to do with what I want.
It's always about what you want. So yes, walk back in there and let Chris stick a spike in the back of your neck.
Listen to me.
Brave new universe, Aeryn. You and Chris, you can finally rejoin that peacekeeper family you've been pining for from the moment we met.
You have got this so...
Just don't pretend to me that it wasn't what you always wanted.
Do Ben and I share the same energy off screen as Crichton and Aeryn do? No, because we both go home to our respective homes and probably pass out from exhaustion. And I've said this many, many times, he's a delight to work with. So a lot of the humor that we share on set, I think, infuses into the work that ends up on screen. But Aeryn's trapped in a way that I personally am not. Aeryn, I think, does not enjoy herself as much as I do. So I tend to laugh a lot more between takes with Ben than Aeryn has an opportunity to do with Crichton.
The door. Good. Now open it.
I let the fans know early in '98, or partway through the first season, that I just purchased a laptop, and I was attempting to learn how to use it so I could get online and see the multitude of websites that were being created at an extraordinary pace. I just don't have the time, and I've made quite a specific rule in my life to put people before machines. So when I do have the opportunity to see my friends who are convinced I really don't, work the hours that I do, I will take those opportunities to spend time with people. But I do enjoy reading the fans' responses. So if I do have a day off, I'll get online, I'll have a look, I'll browse through, and often there's been so many hundreds of posts that it's impossible to keep up anyway. I get more joy, though, from going to the conventions and meeting the fans live. And although some of their identities have become familiar to me by reading some of their posts on the net, it's always a pleasure to meet them in person. So I'd probably appear more at conventions in lieu of spending a lot of time on the net getting to know them.
For a look with the Scarrets!
That would explain why the Chariots have stayed on the perimeter.
Explains a lot of things.
You know, we are running out of time.
We still got time.
We've struck quite a phenomenal formula, and I don't know. I could tell you what the elements are. I'm proud to say that I think the fact that the show is shot in Australia makes a big difference to the humorous tone of the show.
Hello. Wake up!
I think the fact that Ben, as an American trained in England and has an English wife, has gentrified him no end. And I say that cheekily, of course, but he understands us more than a lot of Americans perhaps might, and because we all have to work so closely, there is a common vernacular somehow because he has spent time in England, which is, I'd say, closer to Australia than America is in some ways. And there's an enormous sense of play which comes to the set. We don't waste time when we're on set, but we always spare time to laugh and to make sure that the crew isn't downtrodden with the burden of this incredibly grueling schedule.